It's a Tuesday. It's March 19th, 2024, and it's just not a Tuesday, but it's the first day of spring. Well, not officially until 9:06 p.m. Mountain Time when the vernal equinox takes place, and that mule deer in Wind River country wanting to leap into the spring season over all that snow. And it really will be very spring-like. In some areas, especially the central and southern Rockies, central and southern plains, really through Saturday, it's going to be really mild. But up north, across Montana, northern Wyoming, northern areas of Idaho, then across North and South Dakota, colder Canadian air is going to spill in. We're going to get an overrunning event of snow up there here at the end of the week. That mainly stays up north. But by late Saturday, by Saturday afternoon and Saturday night, we're going to see rain and snow spread into western Wyoming, into Utah, into western Colorado. Then overnight Saturday into Sunday and Monday, much colder temperatures will come over the divide, out onto the plains, and it will be a wintry weather pattern as we get into the early parts of next week. And it could stay stormy right through Easter weekend as storms are lined up across the Pacific to bring us plenty of weather. But very little weather to show you on the satellite imagery this morning. A large swath of the U.S. under high pressure, although we still have that upper level low hanging out. Yep, that's the same storm that was here late last week. It's still parked down into the northeastern areas of Arizona, weakening, but still producing clouds and showers down there. Beautiful shot from Jan Curtis and Cheyenne of some altocumulus clouds, and we're going to have a lot of blue sky and pretty clouds over the next few days in this nice early spring weather. There's where we are with the 500 millibar chart this morning. That low down in Arizona, generally fair high pressure conditions elsewhere. We've got a lot of cold over eastern Canada, parts of the northeastern United States, some chilly early spring conditions into the Great Lakes in the northeastern United States. So the best weather across the U.S. is out here in the west. And temperature anomalies today, well, you can see a lot of orange here. So temperatures are going to be well above average here, cooler than average underneath that low in the desert southwest. And there's that cold up in Canada. That's going to want to retreat a little bit back this way, as you'll see here in a moment. As we go through the end of the week, by Thursday, we still have high pressure over the Great Basin. This low gets better consolidated off the west coast of Washington and Oregon, and we start to see that push of colder Canadian air wanting to come down the east slopes of the Canadian Rockies. So this is by late Thursday afternoon towards Thursday evening, and we have the Pacific moisture colliding with the colder air coming in out of Canada. And you can see that on the precipitable water. This is for Thursday morning. What we're seeing here is the high water content Pacific air heading towards Montana. You see the brown up here? This is the very dry air that's behind the much, much colder Canadian air. So that colder Canadian air slips underneath this. The moisture comes over on top. We get the overrunning event. And there you can see exactly where it's going to happen. This is by 5 p.m. Thursday evening. The very cold air boundary is about right here. And then that Pacific air goes over and on top of it. So you're going to get your snow falling where that milder, moist Pacific air goes up over on top of the colder Canadian air. And here's your result. Heaviest snow across parts of southern Alberta into far northern Montana. Lighter to moderate snows will fall in this area right here with that overrunning event. But along and south, while we're going to have some showers down here, temperatures are going to stay, as you see right here, pretty mild through the end of the week. And this is what the first round of snowfall looks like with that overrunning up north. Then, as we get into the weekend, we see a more consolidation of the upper level trough. High pressure builds. That opens the door to even more colder Canadian air, and the jet stream takes a dip. So there's nothing to hold back the very cold air that's going to be up here, and it's just going to want to come south. And this low here will bring in some Pacific moisture. Again, at the moment, it looks like the system may be a bit disorganized, but a large-scale pattern of cold, moist air will overspread the area. How cold? These are the overnight low temperatures by Monday morning. So you can see a lot of single digits up here. Yeah, that's below zero up into portions of Canada. So very cold air overspreading the region. single digits and teens by Monday morning in many areas. These are the wind chill values by Monday morning. I want to highlight livestock interests up here are certainly going to want to really keep an eye on things in terms of some stressful livestock weather because of a change to much colder temperatures, much colder wind chill values, and some areas of snow with these two systems. So we're going to, by Monday night and Tuesday of next week, look at this. A broad area of low pressure in the west that just opens the door to Canadian air and Pacific systems coming on in. So the end result is going to be an unsettled, colder pattern. This is the second wave of precipitation. Notice some heavier moisture, again, in the same areas that are going to get the first round of snow. So it's going to be cumulative with these two events up into the northern areas. We're also going to start to see the snow move into the Wasatch and the western mountains of Wyoming, the mountains of southern Wyoming and Colorado by late Saturday into Sunday and Monday. I do think that there's going to probably be more precipitation here than the model is showing by the time it's all said and done. But it's right now, the focus looks to be the northern Rockies and the northern plains with these two storms, the Pacific Northwest and the mountains. We'll see what the adjacent plains end up doing with these first two systems. This is the second round of snowfall. This is basically going to be from Saturday afternoon through Monday of next week. So a lot of the west and the northern plains gets cold. Look how far south the snow may get by late March here, all the way into the Texas Panhandle. This is the cumulative of both storm systems running together. So we continue to see this axis up here in the Dakotas and across Montana. And this axis may go a little more north and it may go a little more south. So we'll just kind of keep an eye on it. Temperature anomalies for the 5-day period of the middle to the end of next week. So you can see how much colder it's going to be. Coldest over what's going to be a snowfield developing up across those northern areas. And then going out further, this is by Easter weekend. As long as we have this configuration of high pressure in the eastern Pacific, it is likely going to be cold at the end of March into early April with the door open to Canada and more Pacific systems coming on through. So we're going to be in a colder period once we get to the end of this week, this weekend into early April. So the next 3 or 4 days, get out and enjoy the mild springtime conditions. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good Tuesday.